Interface Video, in cooperation with Fairfield Federal, presents Fairfield Today. Brought to you by Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan, Fairfield Medical Center, Fair Hope Hospice and Palliative Care, the Frankie Smith Funeral Home, Fairfield County ADAMH, Dagger Law, and the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities.
Hello friends, and welcome to Fairfield Today. Pleasure to have you with us as we telecast downtown at the Fairfield Federal Lobby in our little corner where they're so graciously give us a little time each week to do this. And as we begin our taping today, it's a nice day outside. You know, we're getting into the great time of the year for Lancaster and Fairfield County. So we're glad you're with us, and we'll do a little artsy kind of show to start out today. For the last, dozen years or so, I can remember Ron Keaton, the late Ron Keaton, who was, of course, so prominent here at Fairfield Federal, kind of got this idea. He was always into plays and always loved doing that stuff. He had a real passion for it. He got a group called the Garret Players up and running. And now, fast forward to today, and they're doing great. They do several plays a year, and they're always so much fun. They're upstairs in the library at the Garret up there, so that's kind of the name from that. And the latest one is coming up here, and we've got the young ladies on to talk about that. On my far right is Penny Wasem. Penny, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. And to my right is the director for the show we'll be talking about today, Cathy Bitler. Welcome.
Welcome, Paul, and thank you for calling us young ladies. You don't know how we appreciate that.
Well, I do what I can. Both great of you to come on today. It sounds like an interesting play, the Savannah Sipping Society. If I think of any place that sipping kind of fits in, it's Savannah. It's the perfect atmosphere for that. It's sounds like I'm going to guess this is a comedy.
Yes.
Going to be a fun play. It's coming up later this month, May 17th and 18th. That's a Friday and Saturday at 7 p.m. and then Sunday at 2 p.m. the 19th. And again, down at just a block or so from here on the second floor of the I guess that's the second floor.
It's the third floor.
Third floor. They call it the third floor.
Yes.
Okay, very good. It's a Garret at the library. No charge to get in on that. It's just a wonderful time to be had by all up there. Limited seating, so get there early. And elevators working again. Everything is
absolutely
thumbs
is.
up for that. Very good. So you are the director of this, and tell us about the play.
Well, the Savannah Sipping Society is a Jones Hope Wooten play. That's three American playwrights who just use their last names. Just to give you a little bit of insight, you mentioned it is a comedy. Jamie Wooten, who is one of the authors of the play, for years wrote for and produced The Golden Girls.
Ooh.
So you get some kind of idea, and there are four golden ladies,
oddly enough,
who are in this show, and they really meet by chance at the gym one day, and each of them has had some recent upheaval in their life, and are kind of a little bit wandering and trying to get things back on track. Form this fast friendship, and we just watch how things evolve over the next 6 months for them.
Well, it sounds like it's going to be great fun. If you, I guess, if in your mind you think of the Golden Girls in Savannah doing this, I mean, it sounds like it could be a very fun time.
It is billed as a laugh out loud comedy, and it truly is.
Okay.
Before picking it, I read it 3 times and laughed every single time I read it. And last night, as we were in rehearsal, we're laughing again. So it's just a lot of fun.
Now, I've had Cathy on the show, Penny, many times for different things, but certainly a lot on for the Garret Players as somebody out front, somebody that's done kind of grunt work in the back. She's kind of done it all. Now she's directing again, so she's doing that. But I understand this is the very first time you've been up on the stage in a play.
It is. I've been in choirs before on stage, and I've attended community theater. I love community theater, and we're fortunate to have Garret Players, Lancaster Playhouse, OUL Theater. Yeah. So I always try to support them. And Garret Players, I always thought that would be kind of fun to do, and you do have your script to fall back on. So I thought maybe I should try that sometime. And when I read about the play that was coming up, I thought, why not?
How great is that? So you are one of the 4 ladies?
I'm Randa Covington, yes.
Randa Covington, and you are one of the sippers?
Yes, we do meet for drinks quite often.
I see why you volunteered to do this play among all the others. I get that. So I guess, you've done things before. I know you're in the Lancaster, both of you are in the Lancaster Community Course, and you do that, but this is something out of that stretching yourself a little bit here to be in this.
It's out of my element, so I figured, why not try it and see how I like it and see if I ever want to do it again or not.
So now you've been through a rehearsal and you're still in.
I'm still in.
Excellent. Well, good. Do you think you're going to have a good time at this? Does it look like
so.
fun?
The other 3 ladies are very nice, 2 of which I knew before, and 1 I did not, but I think it'll be fun.
Okay. So, and again, I guess Penny tells us she's the first time person here in this, and I kind of think of most of the time you have people in town who've done this before, who have been involved, and that often is the case.
That often is the case, but if you think back, you mentioned Ron Keaton. One of the reasons that Ron started Garret Players was to give people like Penny, who are supporters of community theater and maybe have always thought they'd like to try it out, give them the opportunity to do that. Since we are all of our shows are done as staged readings, so people have their scripts in their hands. Rehearsal time is only 2 weeks, so we're not asking people to commit every night or for a couple of months. We're not asking people to memorize long speeches, and I have to tell you, for some of us of a certain age, that's a real blessing. And just as a way to expand the reach, in our years, I think Penny makes maybe about 130 different people that we've had involved with Garret Players on stage.
On stage, just on stage.
Yeah. So we're really excited about having Penny become a Garret Players alumni.
Ron would be very pleased about this.
He would be.
I can remember, and again, kind of referencing the years ago when Ron started coming on here and we started talking about this, he started telling me about this. Of course, I knew a little bit about community theater. He and I had been to some plays before. There was a group where they'd done work for children over the years, and I was in a couple of those with him for that. And that's where I kind of got to know him as the actor side as opposed to the Fairfield Federal banker side. But he started telling me about this, and I didn't know much about it. And he started talking about what you call stage readings, where you walk around with your book. And I thought, what the heck is that all about?
Oh.
I mean, can't you memorize your lines? I mean, you walk up there. Well, I saw these, and I was blown away. I mean, the people have their books, and you probably know this, but you don't even know they have their books. They may reference them, I don't know, but for the most part, they don't. I'm sure you'll know your part. But that doesn't interfere with the enjoyment at all.
Yeah, but it does take some of the pressure off of having to memorize.
You think
all
that kind of helped you make that first step?
Yes.
Yeah. And so you don't even, after you're doing it up there, you probably have the book in your hand, but maybe you don't even know you have it.
Well, we will see. You have to come and find out.
And we've talked about this before, Cathy, about this. You mentioned, or I guess Penny mentioned, we got the Garret Players, and we have the Lancaster Playhouse Theater, and we've got Victor out there with Iowa University, who now in the last couple of years you've collaborated on a couple things, so that's always very cool. But I talk about this when I had, say, Clarence on, or I had Stephen Caracciolo on with the Lancaster crowd. We talk about that. There was a time here in Lancaster where if you were into music and you went to college, you may have been able to do that in college, but probably coming back here, there wasn't going to be much opportunities, at least in Lancaster. Well, the same has happened for people that want to do plays. There was a time when maybe you could do drama and that, but when you come back here, and of course Ohio University got started, but that was it. But now there's plenty of opportunities for people to come back and get involved, and I know you'd love to see that.
Absolutely. Rise Up Alliance, you didn't mention them, and they do a
Cosgrave.
lot of work with children.
They do good stuff.
And really get the young people in the community involved in theater, and I think that all of the theater outlets that we have, and those are just the ones here in Lancaster, and then you've got Millersport and Pickerington and Lithopolis, and we have become a theater county.
It's interesting that all the little communities, like the ones you mentioned, they all have maybe one or two plays a year, other than even school plays. Yeah, and maybe some of the genesis of this came from just the outgrowth of the Garret and the Lancaster Playhouse.
Well, I'd like to think so.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be nice?
I know Ron and Donna both. They were so involved in this. Talking with Penny Wasem and Cathy Bitler here from the Savannah Sipping Society, to be May 17th and 18th. Friday and Saturday at 7 p.m. and then Sunday the 19th at 2 p.m. And it's at the library, and that's just a very cool place up there to have a play. I mean, it's very low key. It's not, you have your setup there, and it's all set up to be perfect for the venue you're in. But I know the library works close to you, the Friends of the Library. There's usually an intermission, and perhaps a cookie or two could be had.
Cookies, yes, cookies will be had. Friends of the Library will be providing refreshments at the intermission. Yep. And I'm glad you mentioned the Friends, because you did say earlier, Paul, that there is no admission fee. So no, we don't sell tickets. We are limited to 100 people. So first 100 folks in the door get the seats. But what we do ask is, if you've enjoyed yourself throughout the evening, if you liked your cookies, please drop a little donation in the box to support the Friends, because we could not do this without them. When Ron came to Marilyn Steiner, who is the director of the library when Garret Players started, and asked about this, she had a couple of caveats, and one was it couldn't stress the library budget. So the Friends cover all of our costs. We do this for free, but there are costs involved. We have to pay for the rights to the show, which can be very expensive. Sometimes we have to rent or buy set pieces and things like that. People are very generous, and we just hope that they'll continue that generosity and make a contribution to the Friends of the Library on their way out the door.
Well, it's great to have a couple of people here from the Garret Players that, again, for many years have done such a great job. Cathy Bitler, who has been all stages of this through many, many years of this, and a new person on the abilities here to be up front, do this. We're looking forward to seeing you up there. So far it's been fun?
Yeah, it's fun. The script is very fun.
Yeah.
I can relate to my character very well, so yeah.
That's good.
It'll be a good time.
That's good. It's we want somebody to be able to be in person when they do this. So it's going to be a fun time.
Let me mention the other three cast members, if I might. Linda Kaufman, who's done a number of productions with Garret Players and with Lancaster Playhouse, is coming back to Garret Players as Dot. Dot is a recent widow whose husband passed away right after retirement. So you can understand,
fresh
in a lot of upheaval. Yep. Right. Tara Krabick will be joining us as Marla Faye. Marla Faye is a big old brassy Texas gal. And Tara was in Penny's position just a few years ago, had never done anything and thought this might be fun to try, and now she's hooked. We've got her. And then rounding out the cast is Misha Clark. Misha spent 7 years working with Victor out at OUL doing a number of plays. So she is our experienced person. And she's worked with Garret Players before as well. And Misha plays Jenks Jenkins, the life coach.
Okay. Sounds like it's fun. You girls are going to mix it up and have a great time.
It's fun.
GarretPlayers.com. Good website. Got plenty of information. Just a couple blocks away here at the library. May 17th, 18th, and 19th. Savannah Sipping Society. Girls, thank you for joining us.
Thank you,
Sounds like a great plan. I hope you have a wonderful time.
It'll be a lot of fun.
And you're still friends as an actor and director,
absolutely.
So that's perfect.
For being a director is one of the reasons I thought it would be fun to do.
Excellent. So. Thank you for both being with us
Thank
today.
you, Paul.
We'll be back in just a moment.
The staff that have been here know what it takes. They've been on the other side. They see what it takes to make someone comfortable, to make the family comfortable, and really what kind of support they need. And so I think that's what really makes Fairhope what it is.
I want a doctor who listens to me.
From primary care to specialty medicine, we put your needs first by treating you like a person, not a number. Our primary care team will help you identify your healthcare needs and set goals for success, regardless of where you are in your wellness journey. We care for patients of all ages, with offices that are close to you. Whatever you're searching for, you can find it at Fairfield Medical Center.
The reason why I do what I do is I love helping people, and I really love to work on understanding and striving to improve the lives of the people in our community. Being in Fairfield County is having a network of people around you.
I am driven by my belief that every individual deserves an opportunity to achieve mental and emotional balance, and I'm very passionate about contributing to that process.
Community, connections, collaboration. The Fairfield County Way.
Fairfield Federal. When it comes to our customers and our community, we go above and beyond to help. Our people make the difference. Personal or business banking, whatever you need, we take it seriously because we know you do. Stop by today at any of our 3 locations and see why the difference is clear. Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan specializes in banking that revolves around you.
Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
The Frankie Smith Funeral Home and Crematory in Lancaster and the Johnson Smith Funeral Home in Baltimore have a long and wonderful history of serving our community. Feel free to give us a call at 740-653-0652. Stop in and see us at either of our 2 locations, 405 North Columbus Street in Lancaster and 207 South Main Street in Baltimore. Respect for tradition, regard for change.
Welcome back to Fairfield Today. Sure appreciate Cathy and Penny Beyond talking about the Garret Players and the fun things they've got going on out there coming in later this month, very, very quickly, in fact. And you talk about things that are coming up very quickly. We can talk about this show here, an event they have coming up very quickly, ADAMH Board, which is about 100 yards from here, right across the street, their main office right there. And we've got the public relations girl for that, Jackie Howard. Jackie, welcome.
Thank you for having me, Paul.
Didn't have any trouble getting here? You hit a light right?
No, the semi stopped coming down the hill safely, so.
Again, Jackie is handling public relations for ADAMH Board across the street. Mm-hmm. And tell us a little bit about ADAMH. I think most people, when they think of it, they think about drug interactions and helping all people with all kind of issues that people have. Is that fair to start with that?
Well, a lot of people sometimes think it's a person. They think, wait, Adam H.
Yeah,
is that a guy
H?
with the last name of H or something?
Adam Howard?
Yeah, there you go. So it stands for Alcohol, Drug Addiction, and Mental Health Services. And it's a board, and we have board staff, we have board members that are very, very participatory. It's not a rubber stamp group. They're very interactive with everything that goes on. But there are about 51 ADAMH boards in the state of Ohio. Some counties, because of their size, are combined into, but it's a statutory mandate that a county has an ADAMH board.
And yours is just Fairfield County?
It's just Fairfield County, and we're so appreciative of that, so that we can focus on Fairfield County, its residents, and any monies invested here, spent here through the levy or anything, go for Fairfield County residents.
Is that the funding on that pretty much levy oriented?
We have levy funds that come in. In fact, this year will be a renewal levy for us in November, and it's not new monies, it's just a renewal. So status quo, but yet continued services, very, very important. And so we have levy funds that come in, but we also have grants that are come to us through the federal government, through state. We have Ohio Mental Health and Addiction Services. OMAS is what we call it. So there are monies that come that direction. So there are a lot of different funds. There's some that flow through from HRSA, that's federal, of course. Okay. It's Health Resources and Services Administration. So a lot of different, and we're always writing for grants.
So this is May. It's a big month for ADAMH?
Yes, it's a huge month. May is Mental Health Month. So we focus on raising awareness and reducing or negating any stigma that's associated with mental health, because some people are so negative when you say someone's in counseling or something. Oh my. But yet, you know what? When haven't we needed to be in counseling or needed services of some sort? And we're just so glad to partner with nonprofit agencies in our community to provide those services.
I've seen the commercials on TV. That must be the ones reduce the stigma.
Yes,
is that part
exactly.
of? I mean, not ADAMH necessarily, but all about Mental Health Month.
Exactly, it is. In fact, recently we had a gentleman, Kevin Hines, that spoke, and I'm sure you'll see a little bit more about that in the local news. But he was at the Liberty Center, and he talked about suicide. And he attempted to end his life by jumping off the Golden Gate Bridge. That's been about 20 years ago now, but he survived, and he is now happy he survived, and he's spreading a message of hope and healing and reducing the stigma, because people have real mental health issues.
And you see a lot of that, and I bet you have people over there like that, counselors who come through difficult times in their own lives, and that's sort of turned them around, and they now want to help other people.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Paul. And with some mental health counselors, some substance use counselors, we call them peer recovery specialists. They have had a significant issue or concern in their lives. They are now recovered, and they are using that to help others move through their journey on healing.
So again, this is a Mental Health Month. ADAMH, Jackie Howard with us from just across the street here, the ADAMH board over there. And tied in with that Mental Health Month is you always do some kind of big program. You've got something coming up now.
Yes, our annual dinner. It's typically held in March, but this year we're pairing it with Mental Health Month. And we're doing it on May 21st, so just a week away.
Okay.
It's a premier year for us because we're using it as a fundraiser also. We're trying to take the initiative to help support our levy because, awareness costs money. So this will help fund our awareness campaign to, for billboards and materials to educate people on what ADAMH is.
Now you always have a big speaker. Who's coming in this year? I've seen his name.
Yeah. Okay, this speaker this year, his name is Jones Laughlin, and he's actually from out of state. But Marcy Fields, our executive director, and myself had the privilege of hearing him 5 years ago at a state conference in Columbus. And we were just, wow, what an amazing person. Well, things, COVID in there, just different things. And I didn't know Marcy was following him on LinkedIn because it was just, after he spoke, he started the meeting off that day, and it was just like, wow, I just wanted to leave and go out and conquer the world. But he was just so fabulous and inspirational. He's an author, and he is a coach also, and then he's a speaker. And he's authored 2 books, so it's good. That kind of was the premise of our whole theme of growing a healthier community, because that is what we're continually doing.
Yeah, and you just mentioned Marcy Fields. I had her on a while back when Starlight Center, which is kind of your newest area of operation, was just pretty well built, just getting ready. Now it's kicked off, it's going on. How's that been?
Well, we have yet to open the doors to receive anyone in there, any clients, but that is for individuals experiencing immediate needs for substance use or mental health disorders.
Is that down on Locust?
It's on Locust Street. So almost, a little bit over and down the hill. It's in the 200 block of Locust Street. But once,
beautiful place.
It is beautiful, and the services that will be offered there once all the inspections have taken place, which we're so close. We're like at 98% before we can open it, but Ohio Guidestone will be the provider there, and so they'll be offering services.
So you've got your home stretch place right across the street here, right on the corner in the old Kresge building over there. We know that. Now you're going to be soon having the Starlight Center open down there on Locust Street, and I understand there's a new location that you're even talking about.
Yes.
Another new one.
Yes, another new one. And these are all, it's not like we're just building and building for just no reason whatsoever. This is a response to the community's request for assistance in these areas and to answer the needs of, the community members. So this is going to be on Venture Place. We keep calling it Venture Place. It may have that name, we don't know. But it's over close to Social Security Administration, Fifth Third Bank, and Lowe's, and Olive Garden, and all those fun things. But this is going to be a mental health facility that will house homeless individuals. And it is not temporary housing, it's a permanent housing for 30 individuals.
Wow.
And then in addition, there's going to be another building, and it is
Will that be there also?
Yes, right next to it, and it is a consumer group, formerly known, it was out on Main Street, it still is, but it's going to be the Center of Hope.
Okay.
And so it was the consumer group, but it's going to be the Center of Hope, and they've renamed themselves on Main Street. So a lot of things happening here, because then Lutheran Social Services, who's going to be one of the providers at the facility on Venture Place, they are also going to be able to expand their services on Main Street to house more individuals who are homeless, answer the needs of our veterans who are without housing. So it's a wonderful thing all around. And we are writing grants. We have a grant manager who's writing grants, and it's just continual, and it's always ever changing. It's dynamic and it's exciting.
Well, it's I guess you can look at it a couple different ways. It's unfortunate that we need so many of these places. ADAMH serves such a need, such a niche in the community. But then I guess we can be thankful that we have places like ADAMH and all the things you do in the other organizations that cope with these problems, like Lutheran Social Services and what will be your Starlight Center and that place out there, that they see the need and they respond to that. They know what the county, what the city wants, and you're going there and building them.
Right. And you know how we've been mentioning these agencies like Center of Hope, the Consumer Group, and Lutheran Social Services, and Ohio Guidestone, and ADAMH at the offices. We don't provide direct services right there. We partner with nonprofit agencies in the community. Meals on Wheels, we have a senior support program. The Lighthouse, domestic violence, we help fund, we pay for some court things there so that people can get their lives back on track. So there are just so many different pieces, groups that Lancaster Recovery Services, the Recovery Center, I could name just Big Brothers, Big Sisters.
Takes a
we have
village,
14 of those agencies.
Yeah. Well, they do good work. ADAMH, is it adamh.org?
It's fairfieldadamh.org.
Fairfieldadamh.org.
Yes.
That's it. Got a lot of good information on there. All kinds of stuff to learn about the opening of the Starlight, your new place. Good website up there.
And if people want to purchase tickets, today will be the last day to do that.
Get them in. How do they do that?
May 14th. So go to our website. And if you just go Fairfield County ADAMH, Google that, you'll
can do it online.
Get to our website. You can do it right there conveniently online.
Very good.
It's the first banner that pops up.
Good.
So,
Well, good luck at that.
yes,
Mr. Laughlin,
thank you.
I know he's going to be a great speaker out
Yes,
there.
we're so excited.
The Wigwam up there in Pickerington should be
Wigwam,
great.
Yes, it
Good
will.
luck.
Thank you.
Jackie Howard with ADAMH and their big banquet coming up. Thanks for joining us, Fairfield Today.
Interface Video, in cooperation with Fairfield Federal, presents Fairfield Today. Brought to you by Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan, Fairfield Medical Center, Fair Hope Hospice and Palliative Care, the Frankie Smith Funeral Home, Fairfield County ADAMH, Dagger Law, and the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities.